Good morning. It's a little rainy this morning. We haven't gotten any real rain, but stuff is wet. Kind of. Notice how part of the barn is wet. But not other. Anyway, we've got some tillage work to do today. Brock should be here any minute. We're going to send him off on the disc. We've got a full, good-sized day, or big day of disking to do. And so hopefully Brock can get a real good chunk of that done. I am going to jump in the field cultivator. We have two small fields that need to be field cultivated before we'll be done with this big field cultivator. One of them is the rest of my plot field right there. So we've got to do that and finish one that Phil was in last night. He didn't quite get done. So it won't take real long. We're going to work on that here this morning. Yeah, tillage work is about done. I don't think we're going to plant today because it's cold and it's a little rainy. But I am planning on planting tomorrow and Thursday. It's supposed to be nicer, so we'll see. But we're going to give the field cultivator a quick glance, look over. Don't have much to do, so it doesn't have to be brand new shovels on everything. But we want to make sure there's none that are totally worn out. Well, look. I mean, like, that one's getting pretty worn on the one side, but I think it'll work today. All the ones up on that wing look okay to me. We should unfold this to do it. It's much more efficient, easier to check everything, but like you said, we're just looking real close. So definitely some getting thin. This one here could probably be changed. All right, well, let's pull it out into the driveway where we can work on it a little bit. We probably better fuel the tractor up, and we'll get moving. I just did a couple there. There's other ones that after today would need to be changed, but like I said, we've only got maybe 50 acres. I doubt it's even that much to do, so it isn't gonna wear them all out. One thing that I've tried to do a little different this year, when we've been replacing the ones on the back row, we're running 7-inch sweeps. They're a little bit narrower. I think it helps reduce the ridging that they cause a little bit so that the drag and the packer do a better job of leveling. It seems to be helping to me from my vantage point from the planting tractor. We run 9s on the front, so they're a little bit wider, which helps take out the weeds better, works the soil better, but it leaves it rougher. So kind of a combination of both. That one's pretty worn, isn't it? Oh well. One side of it anyway. So we'll wait for our fuel and then we'll go to work. I don't know where Brock's at. He's supposed to be here at 9:04. He's not late very often. 234 gallons of fuel later, we are ready to go. Brock's still not here. I wonder if he had a fire call or something this morning. Whatever, he'll call me when he gets here. We're going to the field. Okay, we are in the same general vicinity that we were last night. The field that we worked with the disc is right up there. We did this one right over there. We've got another big muck pocket right in the front of this field. And I guess Phil came over here last night and was doing some, hence the fact that the field is half done, but it was dark and so dusty he couldn't see. And that's a bad thing in the muck. So we're gonna finish it up. We'll talk about it when we get going here, but this muck is very fluffy, light, high organic matter dirt that you cannot work it deep. We will be pushing with our packer. It's going to be a problem. We're just skimming the surface here, just residue management. So we've lifted the field cultivator up, so it's just below the surface here. And I actually have to put the wheels down on the packer, otherwise the center will push. I'll try and show you that sometime when it's doing it. But right now we're good. So real shallow, just floating across this really black, mucky dirt. Now this hole is tiled. It is not wet like the one we almost got stuck in yesterday. So we shouldn't have to worry about that, but you never know. And then we come up the ridge here into some more yellow, heavier dirt, and we can set our field cultivator back down. And we can lift up our center packer wheels. Okay. There is a wet spot over there that we have to stay out of. Dropping back down into this muck here. Lift up the field cultivator, so we're just skimming the surface. And then if you watch closely, you'll start to see the packer pushing dirt in the back there. Now, it's dusty, so you can't see it, but it started, so I dropped the wheels a little bit, take the weight off that center roller, and we are good now. If you dig this really deep, and you just let it go like you normally would. Oh, there we're pushing some more. It gets really fluffy and the dirt just flows. Can you guys see how that dirt just flows in front of there? Not really. There it goes a little bit. And then we're back up on the clay ground. We drop the field cultivator. Another little pocket. Yeah, it's pushing. It's pushing. Tires. Okay. Now we should be good. And we make our turn. It's doing a little on the wing there. It's done now. It's really cool to see how that dirt flows. I was trying to catch it for you real quick, but it worked its way out there. It does it just a little bit. Getting a few raindrops here, no big deal. You can really see from here the difference in the color of the dirt and almost the elevation change, where high ground it's more this brown yellow clay, and then we just drop down into that muck. It's just totally different. So we just had to do a pass and ends in the back. Now we got to come up, we're gonna get a little more around this wet hole, make it cross the past the front, and then we're out of here. Huh. Well, I guess it's legit gonna rain. We're closer. We're down to 23 acres to do yet. Alright, well, it still hasn't really amounted to anything, but we've gotten enough rain that it's going to get sticky here. So we're just going to let this pass. This is it. This is the field that we've got left, just where my plot goes here. It's like 20, there's 24 acres total, but Dad's already got the stuff up there done. Like 22, 23 acres is what we've got to do. So we do have one other farm that needs to be field cultivated, but it is 30 acres in 3 pieces, and 28 of it is in one farm or one field. So there's 2 really tiny little pieces. We're actually going to hook the small field cultivator up to the 8430 when we get done with the disc to go down and do that. So this is what's left for the big field cultivator, and then we can unhook it, and essentially we're done with it until next spring already. So that's good. I was thinking one thing that we should do between now and next spring is a total rebuild on our packer back there. Not that there's a lot to rebuild, but the scrapers need readjusted, and the scrapers keep needing readjusted because the wheels, the packer wheels, are loose, and I think there's enough wear on them that we could add one to every axle. At least put some more spacers in there so they stay tight, and then those scrapers will stay in the right spot as well. But right now they just kind of move enough that then they hit the scrapers, they wear on them, they move them, then they don't work very good. So we need to fix that for next year. Dad went to go pick up Brock because he's going to get sticky where he's at too, and we don't want to drive the tractor all the way back. He's 7 or 8 miles from the farm, so we'll just leave it there, and maybe we can go back this afternoon. Maybe it'll be tomorrow. Who knows? But not a big deal. So we'll wait for them guys to get back here, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do from here. Go down to the seed warehouse, sort some seed out, maybe treat some beans. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Well, it's actually been raining sort of steady here for a few minutes, so we're not up to a 10th yet, but it's definitely sticky. We're going to be done for a little while. Well, Brock and I are down here sorting some stuff out. We got 5 boxes of beans to treat yet. That's all that I've got. Well, there's one more, but I don't have it yet. So I'm kind of waiting on that. But I'm going to sort through some of this other seed that's here yet. The stuff that needs to go to some customers versus stuff that is just here and extra versus stuff that customers are supposed to take and have now sort of backed out on me, which sucks, but it's what it is. All right, well, we organized a little bit. So those 2 pallets of corn and box of beans go to a customer. That pallet with corn and beans goes to a customer. This goes to a customer along with one of those boxes of beans that is not yet treated. I'm not going to treat it until the customer actually returns my phone calls and I know that he's going to take it. All of this corn at the moment is unsold. Well, technically 40 bags of it is sold, but the guy just told me yesterday he's not going to take any of the corn, which I'm a little ticked about, but what are you going to do? They're right. So, and then the beans are mostly untreated beans that are stock. A few of those are sold that go with some of the boxes to make up the partials that guys needed. But all those boxes over there are sold, are going to be delivered or taken, and we don't have to worry about that, except for that one box way back in there is corn that we had changed an order this winter and it was already delivered. But yeah, so we'll see. I'm going to call my sales rep and let him know that, hey, I have a fair bit of corn. I guess this isn't horrible, but it's more than I would like to have sitting around at this point. So see if he needs it anywhere else. They can come and take some of it. That happens fairly regularly. Anyway, it's still raining out here. So, oh, and we got those 5 boxes we're going to treat. We'll do that after lunch. I turned the heater back on. End of April, I turned the heat on. Anyway, we're going to let it warm up here a little bit, and we're going to go to lunch. Right? Right. I think Dad's going to go with us, so we'll go find some food, and we'll come back and treat a few boxes of beans and see what else we can do. I don't think we're going to be doing any more field work. We've gotten enough to this point that it's not looking likely. We're back from lunch. The rain's starting to wind down. We're just about up to 2/10. Definitely we're done for today. We'll see about tomorrow. See if it does peter out or if it keeps raining and drizzling all afternoon. We're going to go down and treat some beans. So I worked on the computer here for a little bit after lunch trying to figure out what all I've got that's extra, supposed to be in stock, all that stuff that we were just sorting out, trying to figure out how much of everything is supposed to be there versus what's actually there, and I think we're okay. I sent that list on to my sales rep so that he can use any of it that he might need for anybody else, any last minute stuff, and we might still have some of that too. Also called one of the customers who I had sorted seed out for that I wasn't sure because I hadn't been able to hear from him about taking stuff, and he's going to take it. Tomorrow morning we're going to make a seed delivery, so we've got to treat that box of beans for him as well, which is good because we're treating beans. So we'll just treat 6 boxes instead of 5, and it will work out. Excellent. So we're going to get that done. We're going to treat our rest of our 2818s that we need for us. And if the rain stops and I can get my trailer inside reasonably, maybe we'll get stuff loaded up for in the morning. It's been a while since I've showed much seed treating stuff, so we'll talk about it a little bit today. That, and I don't have anything else to show you really. So we are mixing up chemical in there. That is our Cruiser Max Apex. This keg is empty. I'm hoping I don't have to crack another one for this, but we might have to. I'm probably gonna have to, just fine. We also mixed up some of our Heads Up, put that in there. That is a treatment for white mold, SDS, that kind of stuff. That comes as a dry packet. I just mixed up my last one. Unfortunately, this little packet treats 400 units. We've only got 240 here to treat. We've got another box coming that it will keep. You can refrigerate it for up to 10 days so we can drain what we don't use out of there, put it in the refrigerator, it'll be fine for when we need it. I just don't have 400 units left to treat that I know of right now. I've got more beans that might need treated, but not yet. So we might have a little bit of that extra. It'll be okay. Not the end of the world there. Yeah, I do not have any more of the inoculant. Those boxes that are over there, those red boxes, the Exceed. I had gotten more of it and used all of it up, and I could use one more box because they treat 200 units in one of the small boxes. I would put it on these beans if I had it, but I don't. So these are going to get no inoculant. Now we do have a dry powder talc replacement planter box additive that has some of the inoculant in it. So we'll make sure that that goes on these beans so at least they get some inoculant there. So glitter in our glitter applicator, I'm pretty sure we're going to have lots of that left over. I got 5 more boxes of it there. And we should be ready to go here, I guess. I'm letting everything mix and recirculate through the pumps to make sure everything is mixed up good. And we can set a box up here and get started. All right. Last preseason run of the year, meaning before we're planting, right? Everything from now on is in-season needs or last minute or maybe double crop or whatever, but this is the last of the sold beans that need to be treated. I do have one box for us, but I'm going to wait and make sure that we actually need them before I treat it. All right, we got our 6 boxes done, so we're going to set them off to the side. We're probably going to dump these back into the original boxes later on tonight so I can get stuff loaded up to go first thing in the morning. I have a fertilizer delivery coming late morning tomorrow. We got to be back for. This guy that's getting these is he's almost an hour drive away, and anytime I'm there, I'm usually there for an hour talking, so it's not going to be a quick trip. So we're going to have to get going in the morning so we can get back in time. So one day when I was up at the John Deere dealer, I was walking through their shop, and they had a brand new corn planter sitting in there, and I was looking at it a little bit, and it had these really fancy hydraulic coupler ends, identifier things on it. I'm like, dang, them are really nice. Well, lo and behold, a couple weeks later, they just showed up here. My salesman took care of me, and I appreciate it. So I've got a chance to get some of them installed, so we're putting them on there, and they are really nice. So we've got to take the coupler end off here, and then it drips a little oil. That's why we got a box. And then we take this and thread it on there. And it's much easier with 2 hands. And then we just tighten everything back up. So then you get something that looks like this. It's labeled number 2, extend, number 2. And if you look under here on all of them, it shows the extend versus the retract side. And you'll also note that the colors match the covers. We've got green, blue, brown, black, purple, and gray, which we don't use on this planter. Oops. Yeah, very nice. Makes it much easier to identify where the hoses go when we have to hook it up. All right. Well, I think the rain is over. We ended up with 1/4 of an inch. Which is not a big deal. It might be enough to keep us out from planting tomorrow or doing any tillage work. We'll see what things look like in the afternoon. It's supposed to be a nicer day. Still not great, but better than today. Dad is going to spray tomorrow. He's got a little bit of wheat to spray up here, some herbicide, and then we're going to start spraying the ground that's planted to beans with bean herbicide and try and get a bunch done tomorrow. So if we can't be in the fields doing other stuff, we're going to help him with that. We do have that seed delivery to make in the morning, fertilizer delivery coming to us as soon as we get back from that. So I'm going to stop back in the seed warehouse and get those boxes dumped back where they need to be, lid put on, and be ready to go for the morning. So thank you guys for watching today. Have a great night. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the videos, would appreciate that, and we'll see you again